kuskil nagu keskplaanis, üldplaanis?
Need, kes veebis räägivad.
veebis rääkijatega on kaks varianti, et kas on terve ekraan või kõrvuti.
Okei. Ja siis, kui nad ei jutusta, siis läheb siia stuudiosse pilt välja. Ja sa tahtsid küsida veel midagi? Dear viewers, thank you for coming. Again, we have the TV show about digital educational hackathon, and we have the guests. We have the guests online and we have the guests on site. So let's hope that all the technical issues don't come on board in this time, and we can have the good contact, at least with some of them. We already had a good contact also through the web. But in the studio, let's start from the studio, and in the studio we have Silvia and Elchin.
Hi.
Hello, and nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In this warm day in Estonia. Silvia, can you introduce yourself, who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Silvia, I'm a Hungarian based in Poland right now. And well, I established a small startup 1.5 years ago related to drones. And that's how it relates also. I was host last year in the DigiEduhack. I was a host for digital education with using drones, mini drones, as an educational tool. And yeah, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. We will talk about your experience, and of course the drones for the educational purposes already interesting. We will ask it. Thank you. And Elchin, you are from, and what is your background and your experience?
Yes, I am founder of Preparatory. It is an edtech organization, so we are founded in Latvia. And what we are doing, we're bringing meaningful technologies into education. And we already cooperate with more than 80, 90 schools in Latvia, and we educate around 5,000 students weekly. So it's quite impactful project. But regarding to DigiEduhack, I want to say that we are also have experience in, of course, organizing DigiEduhack, and last year we organized with around 200 participants. And that was really interesting experience, which I would be happy also to share our experience today.
2,000, you said?
200.
200
Yes.
is also very, very big number. I will write it down. I will start from you. Meaningful tools, what does it mean?
Meaningful means that which really bring value for end users, like for teachers, for students. So we have
some example.
Some example could be, for example, let's say we have a system which really tracks real-time engagement of students, and it engages students into the learning process. So because we have technologies, we can track it while they're interacting in the lessons with teachers, with the lessons, right? So we provide points, we call them coins even, like bot coins, for example. And then we see on a dashboard in which cities are students getting more active. If they're not active, we are doing some activities to activate them more, because this is really important.
That's a bit of gamification there. There is awards and something like this.
Yes, absolutely. It is a gamified system, and it really works well because youth, they know digital tools quite good, and this is like a natural thing for them. And this is basically, it's playing game with a lot of benefits, like attaining your learning objectives efficiently.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sylvia, the drones are also something which we can say that it's a bit like between game and in real learning process. What are you doing with the drones?
Yeah, so it can be related too, because of course it's related strongly to science and technology. Unfortunately, lots of people have a stereotype, like drones used for military purpose, you know,
It's the last years maybe.
and
Yeah.
less,
Before that, we used it for the.
Yes, and there is maybe less, how to say, opportunity or point of view for educational reason for bring it in the classrooms in a safe environment, indoor, not outdoor, but you can hold it indoor environment to flying, coding, or building with small part of drone, basically. So it's we are building it step by step, and this is a little bit excited area because not so many organizations doing it in Eastern Europe, in my opinion.
So you have someone already who is dealing with it on such of projects in the Western Europe. So
Yes, there is competitor actually. Yes, in the West. So there is a lot of challenge, of course, how to bring it to another region or make it more diverse, not also urban area, but bring it to rural environment as well. So that's it's an interesting topic also. But yes, because you can also use drones making images, digital images, which professional GIS professionals use softwares, data analysis for different kind of industry, government, municipality.
So it's not only not flying.
But it's always
else as well.
start with education, of course, like how to engage students, let's say, aerospace, aviation industry, for example. That's the goal.
Thank you. You both have the experience as hosts, also in the digital education hackathon. Yeah. And the first question is for you, Elchin. How it is possible to be a host for 200 people at the same time? Probably you had a sub-host also, but tell us these resources you needed to do so.
I would start saying that we were the only hosts, actually. And of course, obviously, it is not about just me. It's about the team, right?
Of course.
So efficient teamwork is really what is behind all that success. And this is about building like diverse team, because you have to have a technical person, you have to have a creative person, right? You have to have an organizer in that. So our experience shows that the core team could be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 people, for example, right? And we employ also tools for that. For example, we use task assignment tools. It's so important so that you don't forget, or the project manager doesn't forget when, who does what, right?
Everyone see the same picture in the same time. So.
Yes, absolutely. And then it helps not to forget things and to manage the project smoothly. So actually, if we are teaching youth how to use digital tools, we must use ourselves, right? So they really help. It's not just Excel or something like this. No, these are more like project management tools. And then it is more transparent, and team really works together, and it is then possible to organize. We use blended, so our concept is to use blended approach. That means some call it hybrid, like offline and online. So we combine
both
them
together.
Yeah.
Often they say that it's very hard to combine it together, either to be online or either to be offline, but both together is a really challenge.
It is a challenge, but if it is built, so in our DNA, we already started with a combined system. So, for example, we have people who are like, students, they are in schools, for example, in physical places, but we interact through online environment. So it is really hybrid environment, and it is quite efficient, especially we talk about digital tools like hackathons, all these kind of things. Yeah, this is briefly.
Thank you. The same question for you, your experience.
Yes, so it was actually second hackathon, because I organized it 2 years ago, another event, as I organized the hackathon event as well in EUSPA. However, that was a little bit different than the last year, DigiEduhack. I get more attention, I think, from students, but my opinion it was like related to online and offline. It was challenge for me to organize it offline, to have an environment, let's say, to contact a school, let's say, if they want to offer me, their working environment. But that's what I have to learn it maybe this year, because online was also successful, I think. It's a lot of questions still, because it's a new innovation. I think not many organizations have it in their environment, let's say, or organize hackathon with using drones, let's say. It's a new, I think. I'm not sure it was before in your.
Not in my experience. Not in my experience. The main questions you have are I don't know, the 2 or 3 that you have during this process raised up, and you still have them.
You mean?
Maybe after this process.
After the hackathon?
Yes.
Sponsorship is very much needed for this project because it's much more
expensive.
Material needed. But if you do online, there are a lot of simulator software available for open source, so it's very convenient to organize it online as well and engage students. But the best way would be offline, definitely, so they can see how it looks like, how does it work. Experts can also came and introduce them, how does it work.
During the hackathon, is the one key question is to how to build up really good and effective brainstorm. Was it a challenge for you at all? Because we know the steps theoretically, but in practice, firstly for say.
Sorry, you mean
how to organize. Was there any difficulties or?
Yes, a lot of people signed up not as a ready team, but individually. So to find them a team, it was also a challenge for me and for them also, because there was different kind of topics like robotics, space, coding, and they was a little bit didn't know already where they want to go or participate right away. So it took them a while to join the event, or some of them dropped during the event also because they was interested in other field, or most of them also wanted to drop in the middle of the events.
Because one moment they feel that this is not their place. They can choose it earlier, but through the activities they find out that no, I not belong here, maybe I belong there.
Yes, that's was very often happened actually.
Yeah, this is challenge for the host as well, for sure. Did you have something similar experience, and how did you build up the brainstorm? Did you have any challenges on that side?
Yeah, it was similar. So we're talking about brainstorm in the hackathon organizational team, right? Of course, we had different opinions how to do this and that, but our approach was a bit, so we have a strong understanding that, for example, if students study digital skills or programming coding at schools, then it is really beneficial for them to try at least one hackathon. So it should be maybe not compulsory, but part of the also course. So we did that approach also, because we have quite good reach and community. So we nudged them that, hey, let's try it. And the hardest thing is usually, like it was mentioned, to keep them so that they are not dropping. So you have to keep, let's say, interim some activities, and to nudge them always that, hey, it's fine, just try it. And
so not to let them leave.
Yes, absolutely.
Try to motivate them to stay, otherwise it's gonna be a big mess.
maybe it will be, for some it will be mess, but at the end you can have like a lot of drops, and then you start with, let's say, 200 people or 100 people, you end up with, let's say, 10 really submitting, right? But that was not case. So we had a very large submission, portion of submission like rate, and that is due to also the fact that you can nudge people like that. This is really important because many don't know what is hackathon.
Yes.
Of
We
course.
can
Yes.
talk about that later.
They
but-
don't have the experience about it.
Yeah, or think that hackathon is something like for super technical things, and
And
It's-
if I'm with the other background, like with the communication, then I can't be there because I'm
Yeah,
not a technical
kind of,
person and I
yes.
don't know how to build up the code
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
drones.
exactly.
Could be.
but in fact,
Yeah.
a person who has design skills, communication, for example, they could be a person. So that's what we actually try to not try but tell the teams, and that if you're not coding, that doesn't mean that you cannot create any application,
Yes.
because you can build a team and manage the team, which is like super important, even sometimes more important than coding itself, for example. So
Thank you, Silvia, and thank you, Elchin. You're coming back. We have the one session before that when we're coming back all together, 4 of the guests, online, offline. Let's see how it goes. But thank you so much, and thank you as well watching us. So soon we will be back with the new guests. Maas, jah? Welcome back. Welcome back into the Digital Educational Hackathon studio. And now we have guests online. Hello, and hello Katerina, hello Davide.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I can hear you. So everything works. It is possible.
Yes.
That everything works online. Online as well. So let's see later on how it works when we have the offline and online together. It's after the 15 minutes. But I'm glad to see you. Let's start from the introduction as we always do. So Katerina, who you are and what connects you with Digital Educational Hackathon, DigiEduhack?
Hello, thank you very much for the invitation here today. So I'm Katerina Hanzi. I'm originally from Greece, and maybe if you saw a little bit before the video, I have been also in the plans because I have been hosting DigiEduhack last year in Estonia, and I work as a freelancer facilitator in social entrepreneurship and clean tech entrepreneurship.
Wonderful. So you've been here physically as well, near of the studio. Okay, all right. Davide, what is your background and your connection, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Davide Coppaloni, I'm Italian. I work for an organization called Junior Achievement, which is in the world one of the biggest NGOs which is dedicating to entrepreneurship education, financial health, and skills for employment. I have experience with DigiEduhack for the past 3 editions. We've been hosts for the past 3 editions of DigiEduhack. And this year I organized one and I went double or co-organizing another hackathon with other 2 partners in Italy. So we have been in the DigiEduhack, let's say, consortium or group for quite a while so far. And yeah, so that's me.
We're just not they ended up, but we had a question. We had a question about possible infrastructure which can help DigiEduhack. And we heard before that example, Sylvia, she needs support. She needs support by the sponsors because these tools are cost. They have the price. What do you think? What could be these, let's say, the key messages or for the sponsors, or how to build up such a sponsorship for the DigiEduhack? Let's start again from Katarina.
Sure. I think that to build any infrastructure, you need people that join your dream, basically, or have the similar ambitions, the similar visions, and they see that digital tools and education go hand by hand, right? So I can say from the Estonian perspective as well that we had, first of all, the universities, we had big organizations, our Startup Estonia helping there. We had EdTech Estonia as well. So joining together with organizations, strategies, or sponsors that see the same value as we see as organizers is very important for joining forces and making momentum towards what you're gonna build, right? Because you build new startups, you build new innovations, you bring collaborations, and somebody needs to support them. And who else can support them besides the people who see the future in similar ways? Yeah, I think that's the main infrastructure that we might need to look at when we look at sponsors, people that follow and share the same dream as you as an organizer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Davide. So the key message is that let's build together the future.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree on what Katarina said so far. We have a bit of a different background in a way that being an NGO, we work a lot with corporate partners and institutions. So we have pre-made good relationships with these partners, and the approach is really the one to giving them the opportunity to give back to those students, right? Being part of their education, being part of their knowledge sharing, and so on. We see that the engagement from corporate volunteers is very high when they have direct contact with students, because they have the opportunity to give back, to teach them in a way their own experiences. And of course, this reflects into a sort of a chain reaction that goes up into the management, and companies are more eager to help and to come on the field to see how the hackathon is going and to support it.
Is it possible that they see these participants of the hackathon who are really the active students already and with the shiny eyes, that they could be the future employees for them? If they support, definitely, and they will be visible there, I mean that probably sponsors are visible, engaged.
Indeed, there is a good opportunity over there for corporate partners, because they have the possibility also to scout, in a way, new talents. as you know, rules for the European bubble are a bit stringent. So with this GDPR, we need to be very careful on how we connect students with volunteers. But yes, indeed, the opportunities are there. We actually work with our partners to provide further opportunities to these students. So the students that are participating in hackathons, they also have possibilities to do workshops with the supporting partners, and they have the winners. Very often they have possibility to visit the supporting partner headquarters, for instance, or having a chat with their senior leaders and so on. So they also have this kind of opportunities, and it could possibly lead to a future internship or employment. Yes, it could.
Absolutely, thank you. But there is also one question that that how to build up with the sponsors kind of long-lasting relations. What do you think, Katerina? I don't know your experience in that, but are these sponsors for the one hackathon and then maybe for another hackathon, or they could be connected with DigiEduhack for a long-lasting period, for the more than 1 year?
I think the most important thing while building any sponsorship agreement is basically the trust and the long-term relationship that you build with these people. Because also what David also mentioned is like, yes, you can have public sector, you can have private sector, you can have third sector, but all of them are there because they would like to contribute. And we wouldn't like to have that as a one-time based relationship. It's something that lasts, and in order to last, it needs trust, it needs commitment, it needs communication, and it needs a sort of mutual understanding. I think that all the partners that have participated last year were there because they could see the good work, and based on the good work that we have been doing with them and for them, we can actually expand the collaboration further for the upcoming years.
Are you agree, Davide? Do you want to add something, because you have the long, let's say, long experience?
Yeah, I totally agree. Relationship is a key, and it's a pivotal thing in maintaining the good collaboration with your partners. I think that when you're approaching an initiative and an activity like the DigiEduhack with a partner, you need to set very specific and very reachable goals. And you can increase that bar a little bit each year. But you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't dream big, you should dream big, but you also need to be very careful in what you are proposing, what you're promising, and what you can get back from them. So setting very, let's say, realizable goals.
Yeah, realistic
can you
also.
Hear me? Realistic goals, exactly. Setting realistic goals really helps. When you meet the goal or you exceed the goal, partners are generally happier to collaborate with it. And because it's also a matter of dual mutual help. I'm getting something from you. It can be financial resources, it can be in-kind support. For example, if it's a tech partner, it can be that it provides a platform support for free or something like that. But they can get back visibility, they can get back that talent scouting that they are searching for. So there are many different variables that you can play with, but I think one of the most important is to maintain this kind of trust and mutual support between the partner and the hackathon organizer, and setting realistic goals, of course. Yes.
You both had an experience as a hosts. We're now talking about the sponsorship and some parts what you need during the hackathon. But what else is this infrastructure you really need? What else is, can we name a bit more these fields where the sponsors can help you? Some of them you already, Davide, mentioned. Do you want to add something? Then I give the word for Katarina.
Okay, yes. So we run DigiEduhack as part of our hackathon roster. It's not the only initiative that includes hackathon that we do. And we have seen that a very big value added is having tech partners that can help you in delivering the hackathon. We do a lot of hackathons which are cross-country, and even cross-regional. So we had a hackathon which was part of DigiEduhack, by the way, that was organized together with Africa, for instance. So as you can imagine, we couldn't bring African students in Europe or vice versa because of many different reasons. First of all, of course, it's financial resources, but it's also logistical problems or other things like that. So we decided it's better to have an online hackathon. And when you approach online, there are many other different challenges that you might not have. So you don't need a physical location, of course, but you might need a strong platform, strong server, strong connection. And a technical partner could really help over there. Another big collaboration we have normally with partner is when it comes to promotion. So we ask their partners to do also promotional sharing of the hackathon when they are involved. So many times partners are very eager to publicize in a way the work they are doing with us and with the hackathon, especially with DigiEduhack, which is an European initiative, has a lot of visibility, a lot of redundancy. So they're very happy to help in the marketing as well. So these are two things that comes into my mind. We also did some blended hackathons where part of the hackathons was being held online and part of the hackathon on site. So also there was a bit of a logistical part that we needed to overcome, and there where our schools and our partners came into play, helping us in giving us either the logistical space or giving us the knowledge, or even practically bringing the students into the location to help us delivering a successful hackathon.
Thank you. Katarina, what is your experience? Is there similar, some differences, some addings, on-site support? What is your experience? What kind of support you need?
And
what
I
kind
would
of
like to
infrastructure?
expand. Yeah, I would like to expand a little bit in the whole process of the hackathon, where sponsors or infrastructure or support can play a pivotal role. And I think it has to start from the beginning as a host to understand what are your objectives of this event and just see how you can create in an open innovation way. And what do I mean by that is how much feedback do you want to get inside in the whole process. So partners can help with the creation of the challenges in the first place. So the main problems that are identified in the area of education that we call the hackers to find solutions for, we can send them as mentors so that we bring people with a lot of expertise to contribute to the event and the support the development of the ideas. And also, as we talked a little bit before about networking, finding opportunities is a great way for building app connections between the hackers and sponsors or the partners. Also, in terms of the awards, we want to see people getting some prizes that later on they can develop further their businesses and get support from the community, and follow-ups after the end of the hackathon, because sometimes we think that these events are 24 hours or 48 hours and then it's down to reality in everyday life. But having very strong partnerships and put them and focus from the beginning in the preparation is a very successful way to see these ideas thrive. The technical support is also important. You might see me lagging as well, so you understand the technical support is important when we try to have online and offline hackathons as well, and try to make it as inclusive as possible. So it doesn't mean that, oh, I'm not in Tallinn. It doesn't mean that I cannot contribute to the solutions that Tallinn has, to the challenges that Tallinn has, or contribute to the innovation, but actually building the infrastructure that we need to have the people in place, to have the mentors in place, to have all the resources that we need. And most important, I have to say that many times we forget about it, is volunteers on the spot. Because there are 3 days that as hosts, you're going to run everywhere. Some things will not go as planned, and this is normal. And you always need backup of people that are there to support the whole process.
With which message you can support or engage? I'm sorry, engage these volunteers. Why they need to come? What is interesting for them, Katarina?
Fun. I'll start with that. Experience. Free food, right? Sometimes accommodation as well. It depends on where does it take place. And also they get a lot of skills, because taking part in such a big event, because it's not one event happening once in a lifetime somewhere in the world. It happens in many locations. It happens with many people. So you can actually learn how to practice your project management skills, your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, get the knowledge, get the connections, and also getting inspired as well. Contribute to like the future of education.
Thank you so much, Katarina and Davide. And soon we will see you again, because then we will talk about a very interesting topic for me, because I'm the public relation lecturer here in Baltic Film and Media School, about the messages and delivering messages. So thank you, dear viewers, and see you soon back. Hello again. This is our last session right now in the studio as a TV show. But don't forget, ask the questions, because Ask Me Anything session will start right away after this fruitful and interesting discussion. So then this will proceed really, because then we'll have the questions from the field, from the people who are interested about it. And I think there's going to be, it just gives the taste for them, these 3 sessions before the Ask Me Anything session. So now all the guests are here. All the guests are here. And our topic is the message delivering. And of course, how to make us visible. And already there, Katarina and also Davide before, they told us that there's also possible to get the partners involved to be visible, visible for the participants, visible for the sponsors, for the people who can help us, the volunteers. Do you have also the similar experience that how to deliver your message through the stakeholders? Maybe you can start, Silvia.
To engage sponsors, you mean?
To be visible as where we will do the hackathon and now it is start and now it is ends up and such of things. To make advertiser really, to advertise the hackathon.
Right.
You had some partners for that.
Well, the received material, marketing material was very useful, which I used in social media. Yes, it was challenging to reach out to partners, to be honest, but no, actually, I didn't have any partners.
Then we can hear the others' experience with this, because they have the experience. What was the, did you have any experience with delivering the message to advertise your hackathon?
Yes, we have a bit different approach. So we are community based. So what we do, we look at all these hackathons, all this process for a long term. That means what happens after the hackathon, right? So what we do, we build the community. For example, right now our community is 10,000+ young people who are interested in, for example, technology. And we deliver the message mostly through that community. And it really works well. So let me be open. So instead of like spending a lot of budgets on advertising in Instagrams, Facebooks, we channel this budgets to the community. And we continue developing and supporting the community. And we see that this works really more efficient.
What kind of tools you use for the supporting the community or to engage the community? You still spend the money, yeah. You don't just send the email to.
No, it doesn't work. No one reads emails nowadays. So we use, for example, in our case, we use Discord. Yeah, Discord works really well among young people, and we use Discord. We have a Discord server, and plus on top of Discord, we are developing our own tools because Discord is flexible. It has API. We can add things, and then through that, we are doing like events. We have a marketplace where points can be converted. We have efficient, quiet announcement system. So for participation in different hackathons, they get achievements, and achievements then convertible to, again, coins. So we see it that way. So basically investing into community directly, into that young people directly, it really works efficiently.
Yeah, but you have already a platform. Huh? It's also
that's
very
true.
good thing that you can just took them,
yeah,
engage them into this platform.
Yeah,
that's
basically
a big thing.
spending money to just advertisement, right? It is one option, and another is to spend the funds to build the platform, develop it, make it interesting place. Because at the end, it must be interesting for the end. Let's say user. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all.
Nope.
Katarina, do you want to add when we focus something?
I would like to add again. So about the planning part. So what we have set out as a goal is that our communication is about recruitment, right? To get a certain amount of participants for us was important. So we actually put our focus there and our forces there, and as you mentioned, also having a very engaging content, understand what it is, and having people registering, for us it was a great indicator. And the more that we're getting closer to the date that we wanted to have the registrants, we could evaluate our processes if they are effective or efficient or not. Thankfully it was efficient, so we got the number of registrants that we wanted. And also be very specific in terms of the target groups that we want to have. We want the tech hackers, we need also the teachers, the students from the universities, sometimes from the schools as well, right? And the co-creation of the challenges was also something that brought people in, because they were feeling that this is a problem that they belong to, they would like to solve it. So creating some sort of relatability, the sort of contributing to a common goal, and also reaching out to all the different target audiences that we would like to have as participants, as in our target group, was one methodology that went pretty well. And also having very many internal meetings. Maybe I'm stressing that out many times, but I think it is important because it keeps everyone in the loop, and we see where things are moving, where things are not moving, and what we can do until next week to be ready for the hackathon. And have some people dedicated as well during the event for the video shooting. You saw also some parts from the hackathon, the pictures, and make sure to communicate the great human capital that we have for the people who are contributing as jury, as mentors, as partners, and so on.
Was it hard to get into the channels? I mean, to get close to the teachers and students? This preparation work to get closer to these channels they use. I mean, to deliver the message.
I would say no. But at the same time, it was not me who did it. So I don't know for the people who actually did it, if it was his or not. But definitely making sure, like, for example, we have a network of schools and network of teachers, right? Reaching out to people. And again, I'll bring up the topic about relationships, building trust and commitment. This is the thing that actually I see that moves people to contribute, to be present, and to respond. So if you send very clear information, you know what you're doing, and you just send it to the right person, to the right channel, then things are communicated. Either their newsletters, either their emails, either their posts, and so on. It needs a schedule, it needs a commitment, it needs a lot of preparation and clear messaging.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, David. Do you want to add something about this message delivery?
We have a bit of a different approach because JA is a big network of countries, at least in Europe. We have 42 organizations which are part of our network, and we reach about 6 million student learning experiences per year, roughly. These are the rough data from last year. So we have already very well-trained type of communication channels that goes through our member nations. Normally, what we do is that we engage the member nations in promoting a specific activity. In this case, can be DigiEduhack, but any other. Normally, once again, we bring in the supporting partners, and what we do is to divide and conquer, really. So we spread out the information. The information goes down to the country groups, and then the country offices are talking to their schools. They normally have a pool, let's say a network of schools they work with, and they put forward the programs once they receive the information from us. The thing might also go the other way around. So when a country is approaching a specific initiative, they can build up the communication going back to Europe and then spread it out to the other locations in Europe. So one of our main channels is really using the potential and the strength of our network.
Probably they have the different proposals, and in these newsletters there are different topics. How to make DigiEduhack interesting for your organizations who used to get the messages from you maybe once a month, maybe twice, maybe once a week or daily?
So one of the things that is making DigiEduhack more appealing than other, let's say, local hackathons is that it's in a European-wide initiatives, but most importantly, that it's happening everywhere in the world. It's not just focusing on Europe, as you know. It is an initiative where a student from Slovakia can apply to an online hackathon in Argentina and vice versa. So I think that the internationalization, the fact that it brings different cultures, different methodologies of work and other things together, and also people, right? The network itself, the networking itself is very appealing from them. And the other thing is that DigiEduhack is at the end of the road an initiative from the European Commission, so it adds this extra layer of credibility, of importance to the initiative itself, in my opinion.
Thank you. But the next step is that during the hackathon, you need to produce the materials to use it later on. We've seen already the video materials and all of it. Silvia, what was your, let's say, task, what you took for yourself that, yes, we need to produce something during the hackathon? What kind of results you achieved?
You mean the documentation?
I mean more like videos, maybe some text, something, photo materials.
Yeah, so we created a picture when we was participating, let's say. The students presented their idea, and it was 8-10 minutes video we created. Actually, it was very impressive actually, because yeah, they really was sharing their skills, what they have done during the time, and yeah, I was also impressed about their skills. They were very impressive, let's say.
Yeah, they can do the magic things with the videos, with the technical edition nowadays. But after the hackathon, did you have some event or thank you or some group together, organizers, maybe sponsors? Thank you, and have a pizza slice.
Yes, like the appreciate certification, of course. It was very much appreciated, I think, by the students. And yeah, I could offer free software license, to be honest, for two of the winner. So that was my, how to say, present for the winners. But yeah, if I could do, of course, I could award with pricing as well. By sponsor support would be great.
Of course, why not? Same question for Elchin, that production during the hackathon and later on the thank you events.
Yeah, I think the best media we create over the hackathon are the memories. This is the best thing which remains here. And this is real experience, and this is why they participate in hackathons. But if we talk about the media, which is a digital media, we employ different platforms. For example, when we prepare for certain events, kind of hackathons, or for example, tech stages, we go through that event like as it really happens and stream that, let's say, on TikTok or in Reels, Instagram. So it's so interesting for youth to see how we are organizing things. Both failures, sometimes we have, let's say, some problem. We even make a fun video about that you see we have a problem we are now solving for you, actually, this, right?
That's more interesting than just a smooth, everything goes well.
Yes, absolutely, it's so interesting. And then you get a lot of comments, suggestions. Sometimes you get very good ideas from them, from the community, like, wow, you can do like this, why not? And yeah, these materials, yeah, of course, they remain in social networks available. Of course, we have the presentations and so on, and they remain in databases, YouTubes and so on, then they can watch them.
But later on, some event or, I don't know, thank you note or...
Yeah, we do it like this way, because when students win, they're usually teams from certain schools, and we visit that school. So we basically get the team into the car or cars even, and then we go and visit them. We bring giveaways, merch from sponsors, from different organizations, our own merches, gifts, and so on. And this is really very good. Let's say we show both respect and attitude that we are visiting them, their schools, and it creates also very good resonance in the school. Like, it's important for the schools also.
Everyone can see that you're
Of
coming
course.
in.
Absolutely, and it can be like not in the from the capital. It can be far from the capital, and it is very, very, very interesting to visit for them also. Like, so we do it this way. Last year we did that this way, and we will continue practicing this way. And actually, they're waiting because they see us. Like, people see us now in online, right? And for youth, it's like seeing person in online. Then if you see that person in real life, this is like, wow. It's so interesting.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Katariina, your experience, production and thank you events after the hackathons.
Yeah, I would like to start with a celebrity thank you part. So basically, I think it's important to nurture the participants, but also the contributors. So what we did in the 3 days event, like the first evening, that I would say that we had more energy and we were more active. We had a thank you dinner with all the contributors, the mentors, those that were doing the workshops, and the sponsors and the jury to get to know each other, say how they could support each other, and also show our gratitude for their collaboration. So it's not that, okay, I come for 1 hour, and then I disappear, but somehow creating a community. And for the participants, after the end of the event, we had cake all together after we did the nominations, having some cultural event as well, where they had time to reconnect, to network, to celebrate, and also have the stress away after the pitching, which we know that sometimes it can be very stressful for them. And the follow-ups afterwards was mostly for the organizations that won, or they had some inspirational prize from the partners that they continued. And we had, I have seen cases that some of the winners have been engaged in many events as speakers later on with the development of their idea. About the production, we had, because it was a blended event, so online and offline, we have been streaming the pitches, we have been streaming the whole first day that we did team formation and showing the ideas and the challenges, and we have just skipped some parts of the workshops that were active, the participants in the physical space, but all the rest is on YouTube, and also the after movie that you already watched as well, which brings a quite nice peek of what has happened. But at the same, it's been very useful to actually see what a hackathon is, see how you can build also your own hackathon, what is the process, what are the things that are happening, get some ideas, and also see the mistakes as well sometimes.
Thank you. And Davide, we have last 2 minutes. Can you add something?
I'll try to be very short. Yeah, I also recognize many of the things we do in the other colleagues over there. One thing that we normally do is to produce a report for our partners. So to thank the partner more than going and visit them or having, sometimes we also have like a after event sort of cheering drinks or calming down as the others do. But what we do is producing a report where we showcase the impact of the event over the students and how their support has become meaningful and pivotal in that sense. The other thing we do for students to thank them of taking the challenge and coming to our hackathon is to provide them with experiential sort of prizes. So sometimes we invite young entrepreneurs or young speakers or our alumni. We have a big network of alumni that are also part of our organization, and we invite them to give them some, let's say, physical and experiential knowledge of what they've done, so they can take some extra, let's say, skills and extra knowledge from what the other young people have done in their professional career. Third, last but not least, is giving them also mentorship opportunities. And I think together with the experience of the hackathon itself, this is also the best prize a student can get, because money, yes, always help. Visibilities, yes, always help, but the knowledge that you get from, let's say, a mentor, it's priceless, in my opinion, for a young entrepreneur.
Thank you. Thank you, Silvia. Thank you, Elchin. And also thank you, Katerina. And Davide, thank you, dear viewers. Today we was talking about the host's experience. We was talking about the infrastructure, which helps the hackathons, and also how to deliver the messages, how to prepare, and how to ends up the hackathons that everyone who are involved are really happy after a while. Next DigiEducational Hackathon TV show with the session of Ask Me Anything will be in the 4th of June. So see you soon. Thank you so much.